We're going to be seeing Swans. I'm doing all 3 nights. Because it's the last big show they're going to do, and I've not actually really seen them as a big band before. I saw Michael Gira and Christoph Hand back in April, and that was a really good show. But I thought to myself, you know what, I'm just going to go and like just see all 3 shows, just to be part of like, the last big one. Say I was there, it's a good show, and they're my favourite band anyway, so I thought I may as well do it.
Here to see Swans on the second night of their 3 that they're playing here in Brixton. Far too young. It was a friend's older brother who played A Little Gun in My Hand to me when it was just a single. So this is like 11 years ago. So I was 11 I think, about the time when that came out. And yeah, I love Swans so much for the fact they constantly they're like the absolute cutting edge of whatever they do. Even if you go back almost 40 years now to their early stuff, their sound has changed so much over time. They refuse to be pigeonholed, they're boxed in. They are just like an utterly revolutionary band at all stages of their life, whether or not it's super industrial, back in like the early 80s, no wave stuff they were putting out, all the way through to yeah, like now what they're doing, they went through like sort of country and western phase, and now it is kind of like ambient, post-rock, a little bit quieter, and then no matter what time period you catch them in, they were at the very, very forefront of music at that time. That's what I love so much.
You can listen to it for about 20 minutes and listen to the same note and it still holds your attention, and it just builds and builds and builds. You can go back and listen to like the more like extremely industrial stuff or like the really hardcore stuff, and then you just go to like some more country driven stuff, and then you kind of get now which is more punk rock and like with a lot of noise influence. And nowadays they're sort of perfected the formula that they've been working towards since Soundtracks for the Blind really. And I think they've just come out with like possibly the final form of their show. This is the last chance before they then strip it back a little bit, which again I'm looking forward to because I like Leaving Meaning, I like Angels of Light, I like The Burning World. I know that's kind of like a bit contagious within the fan base, but I like the more stripped back stuff as well, so anything is good.
Tonight we're here to see Swans, ready to have the experience, as I call it, with Swans. It's not just listening to music, it's to have a full body blast of fucking sounds through your body, yeah. Well, I think live music, at the worst of times, can still be a really meaningful thing to participate in. You know, it's almost like the kind of modern day church like contact or connection with something bigger than us. I think particularly with Swans, what they're trying to do is so, you know, they're reaching for that sort of like transcendent into that other space you know that's what Michael Gira is trying to do really specifically. And so that's why being here is really important, because as I said, it's a full body, trying to get outside of the limits of the singular existence. It's my experience anyway of it so far. The time I saw them last, it almost felt like Michael Gira and his orchestra, the way he kind of conducts the rest of the band, you know, with his, he'll have a spare hand and he's like raising things, lowering things, giving death stares around. So it's almost a bit orchestral and theatrical, but it's gory, brutal.
We're seeing Swans.
Here for the visceral experience, aren't we? I think that you don't get off the records. Not this show, but like this, you know, since they've been doing this sort of post-rocky stuff, I've seen him a couple of times. Well, he is a legend. He is, and I used to be managed by this guy who books gigs, and he was like, I met him like when I was 20, so like, you know, eons ago, and he was like, Swans, psychic TV, Swans, psychic TV was all he talked about. And so it's sort of been indoctrinated in me by, yes, this very influential person in my life. So, yeah, they're quite a band for me. I love them.
Well, that was it. I really wanted to come for the full physical experience that I get from, especially the kind of the long form repetition. I really kind of get into that stuff.